Let's start with a cultural moment many of us are sharing right now. The TV show Adolescence, currently airing on Netflix. I, like so many other people, took 4 straight hours of my life to binge watch this show that everybody is talking about. But the show revolves around the story of 13-year-old Jamie Miller, a young boy whose life takes an unexpected turn after a tragic event involving a classmate. Over 4 episodes, the series explores themes of adolescence, societal pressures, and the impact of online cultures. At the time of making this video, this show has been watched by over 70 million viewers.
Red pill culture and teenage boys.
You're wondering what red pill means yourself? Or you've heard it floating around the internet in debates around masculinity, dating, or even politics. The term comes from The Matrix, where taking the red pill means waking up to a harsh, uncomfortable truth instead of staying in a comforting illusion. In the modern world, red pill culture has become a philosophy around men who believe society has lied to them about women, relationships, and male identity. Basically, the idea is that men are often taught to be overly agreeable, emotionally vulnerable, or self-sacrificing in ways that actually hurt them in dating and in life. In reality, the red pill community argues, 80% of women want to be with the top 20% of men, who are in that top 20% because of their looks, status, confidence, and money. The remaining 80% of men are often overlooked, friend-zoned, or not seen as attractive partners, especially in the age of online dating and social media, where comparison is constant and perceived options are endless.
And this is where it gets disturbing, because what starts as a coping mechanism can spiral into a belief system that fuels resentment and detachment.
Some aspects of this philosophy, at least ostensibly, focus on helping men build confidence, set boundaries, and stop being people pleasers, while other parts have veered into anger, resentment, and broad generalizations about women, promoting a kind of us versus them mentality that quickly becomes excessively toxic. So when people say they've taken the red pill, it's possible they mean that they're waking up to the fact that they need to improve their life, but it's also highly likely they've started to see women and relationships through a deeply cynical lens. While red pill culture raises real issues like loneliness, rejection, and the pain of feeling unseen among men, too often it answers those issues with hostility instead of healing.
A brand new double standard?
Are also quick to point out what feels like a brand new double standard. That men still be expected to pay even though they are dating women who do just as well as them, if not more so. Looking back, if I were a smarter person, I would have realized that a video of me on stage talking about these double standards titled "Who Should Pay on a Date?" going insanely viral many years ago was a sign of things to come.
When you're on a date, who should pay?
I know. I mean, that's what I told them. You know, I'm sorry.
But
say, I'm dating. We're dating.
But here's
the
the.
gentleman
Here, okay. He's supposed to pay.
Yeah. That's what I told them.
But you're supposed to have sex with him whenever he says.
No. Whenever Walt.
Where does this double standard come from? I'm sorry, it's the reality. You guys can moan at it all you want, but the moment you say to a guy, you have to fucking pay for my time, you're saying this relationship isn't equal. This relationship isn't equal. My time is worth more than yours, so you should pay for it. I wonder what paradigm that sets up.
One comment I saw online reflected a growing sentiment among men, where he wrote, "Dating for men is like paying for a job interview." Combine all of this information with the fact that I hear all of the time from women that when they try to date men who have less than they do, the men themselves seem to have a giant hang up about it and get intimidated, and, well, it's a giant mess.
Many men feel confused, expected to be both providers and equals, dominant but emotionally open, confident but never controlling. The options problem.
So basically we have an army of newly choosy women and an army of men who feel invisible, overlooked, and increasingly hostile, all put together in a pressure cooker of economic uncertainty and unprecedented political division. Two insidious words that are ruining our lives here are options and couch. First, let's look at the options problem. Options create entitlement on both sides. Men and women alike are awash in profiles that depict impossibly curated lifestyles and bewilderingly filtered faces that lead to expectations that simply cannot be met by reality. I look like a rat right now, don't I? It is now entirely possible to go on a date with someone you met online and find that when you arrive at the restaurant or coffee shop, you literally cannot find the person because their actual face is different from the person in their pictures. But social media doesn't just create entitlement when it comes to who we want to attract. It invites massive amounts of comparison with our perceived competition. Women see other women looking perfect. Men see other men the same age as them, seemingly living a millionaire lifestyle while they struggle to pay rent. The effect of all of this isn't just in America or Europe, it's all over the world. John Byrne Murdoch in the Financial Times wrote, "Gender researcher Alice Evans has shown that relationships are down just about everywhere, like a stock." In the stock market, relationships are down. Some Islamic authorities blame Western values and social media for the shift. Damn you, Western values! When women are exposed to more Western media, Evans argues, their expectations expand.
Guys are looking around thinking, what's the point? Swipe after swipe, rejection after rejection. It starts to feel like no one's actually looking for you, just looking past you. So instead of showing up, a lot of men just tap out. Scrolling, gaming, numbing out, telling themselves it's safer not to try. The couch problem.
We have the options problem. Then there's the couch problem for both men and women. Social media has constricted so many people's lives, which is especially dangerous for men who typically spend less time investing in their friendships and real-life support systems than women do anyway, and whose motivation to go out and meet women, even for fun, is muted by the unending and immediately available rabbit hole of online porn. I don't want to claim that this video is comprehensive in discerning all of the factors going into what's going on with so many men right now. For example, I haven't even touched on the fact that men are way more likely to be right-leaning politically now than women, and how the political differences between the sexes introduce a litany of incompatibilities, some superficial, some far more fundamental. But hopefully this video is a start. In a sense, none of this would really matter if we were all happy with our lives the way they are. But as Derek Thompson writes, marriage is strongly associated with happiness. According to General Social Survey data, Americans' self-described life satisfaction has been decreasing for decades. In a 2023 analysis of the GSS data, the University of Chicago economist Sam Peltzman concluded that marriage was more correlated with this measure of happiness than any other variable he considered, including income. None of this, by the way, is designed to be leading to some kind of grand statement of belief on my part that we should all be in relationships and that we can't be happy single.
When you're lonely but don't have the friendships, habits, or hope to change things, you settle into distraction. And for a lot of men, that means less connection, more scrolling, and a growing sense that love, happiness, even real life, is just out of reach. To the men who feel like they're never enough, this is for you.
For many of you, I know that life has not been and continues to not be the privileged walk in the park that you keep hearing it is from the outside. You may be struggling both financially and psychologically, feeling behind in life, and to add insult to injury, feel like because you're not successful enough, tall enough, or good looking enough, you're fundamentally not enough for women in general. But this does women a disservice, and it treats them all as if they're some kind of giant hive mind with no will of their own as individuals to decide their own nuanced preferences. Not all women want the same thing, and many of them are far deeper than the people on TikTok simply looking for a 6'5" blue-eyed trust fund chat. But yes, if you aren't stereotypically attractive, you may find yourself with very few matches on dating apps. But charisma, humor, being interesting, being great company, and having a great outlook on life go a very long way. But these aren't tools you can easily flex online. So maybe online isn't your place. Maybe it's out there in the real world, being in communities, having face-to-face interactions, and letting people organically come to the realization that you are way more awesome and attractive than any of the superficial people they have dated before. For that to happen, it's important that you aren't constantly anticipating the punch, imagining that women won't want you once they get to know you, or feeling emasculated the moment you find out there's an area of life she's excelling in. Her success takes nothing from your intrinsic value, and your ability to admire her success without feeling threatened by it or feeling the need to compete with it will set you apart from other, more insecure men. Also, be careful on hating on people who are drawn towards people who are successful. It doesn't automatically make them superficial. And it's a double standard that some of us have to be mad at someone else for having a preference when we ourselves disqualify people based on our preferences all the time. In any case, you don't need to be outwardly and superficially successful to be a hardworking man, to have a vision for a better life for yourself, and to have a resilience that is noticeable and admirable when it comes to getting through hard things. These are all insanely attractive qualities that don't require superficial success for them to be expressed on a date. Dating is storytelling. You are telling the story of where you came from, who you are, and where you are going. If you learn to tell a better story, you will attract more women. And in regards to the women who don't give a shit what your story is until they know what car you drive, don't give them a minute of your time. You don't want the woman who wants you because you have it all. You want the woman who would be by your side if you lost it all.
You don't have to be rich, ripped, or ridiculously tall to be worthy of love. You just have to be real. Because who you are, how you make someone feel, and how you show up in the world, that matters way more than an algorithm ever will.
In that fight for not allowing you to be stereotyped in unfair ways, because I've spent 18 years of my life working with you and I know you deserve better than that. But man, does some of you give the rest of you a bad name and make it hard to defend you against those stereotypes. If you want an authentic relationship based on mutual respect and admiration, date someone who respects and admires you, not someone who gets the message loud and clear that the reason you are into them is because of what they've achieved and what they have. If you achieved a great paycheck in your life, an enviable lifestyle, and a fancy job title, good for you. That's amazing. Wasn't the whole point of that so that you could choose whoever you wanted without relying on anybody? If you're in a position to choose a relationship for love and not security, you already won. So take advantage of that position. Realize that you being more successful should make the dating pool bigger, not smaller.
If any part of this hit close to home, whether you're feeling stuck, overlooked, or just tired of the noise, you're not alone. Give this video a like if it made you think, and hit subscribe so we can keep having real, unfiltered conversations about modern dating, masculinity, and everything in between.